Doctor, I totally respect your opinion, and I do believe that while, fingers crossed, this is not imminent, I really do think Miss Devine needs to stay in the hospital for the next 24 hours. With contractions that severe within the past 2 hours, I want to be able to monitor her closely within the next 24 to make sure that the contractions completely stop. I'm really happy to hear that her cervix is still elongated and she is in dilating. However, with her risk factors, I would really think it's important that she be monitored. In addition, I would like to be able to uh, prescribe tocolysis, specifically magnesium sulfate, in order to slow down the contractions. I would initially prescribe 4 grams to go over the course of an hour, and then after that, 2 grams an hour to slow the contractions throughout the 24 hours that she is here. I'll also administer right as soon as possible a glucosteroid that will help the baby's surfactant to mature his or her lungs. So if this isn't going to go in the direction that we want it to and the contractions continue, if the baby were to be delivered 24 hours or later, they'll at least have a little bit better fetal lung maturity. At this time, I'm going to go assess her myself, just get eyes on her cervix, do a visual examination, as well as a swab. I just want to make sure that there isn't any infection present, and whether that's sexually transmitted or otherwise, and also swab her for GBS. Let me take a quick look at the chart. I just want to also make sure that she doesn't have any kind of drug history or drug use in her history, because if that were to be the case, and I also saw that she had elevated white blood cell count, I might get a urine tox as well as maybe a urine specimen sample just to see if anything grows in that as well. Especially within the next 24 hours, if I am going to put her on tocolysis, which is magnesium sulfate, I'm going to want her on the monitor so her cardiac rhythm can be looked at very closely. And if this all goes to plan and she stays with us in the next 24 hours and the contractions slow and then stop, at that point I would be agreeable to have her go home and be discharged home. That is, of course, if she's in a close range to our office or the hospital. And then I would suggest that she takes it easy. I'm not entirely sure of what she does for work, but I would say she probably needs to stay out of work if it's anything laborious or if she's doing heavy lifting, or anything that is too strenuous to her body. I don't think it's entirely necessary for her to be on bed rest quite yet, especially because her cervix is still elongated and she hasn't dilated. But I just really think that this next 24 hours is crucial that she stay within the hospital so that we can monitor her throughout the night and we can see where we stand tomorrow morning. And if it doesn't go in the direction that we want, at least we have her, here, and we can med flight her or, have EMS take her to the nearest hospital that has the adequate NICU that the baby will need.